Ultimately, implementing Keeper has allowed my team to save approximately 30% of their time per client. Hello, my name is Linda. I am with Honeycomb Bookkeeping. We started our firm in 2021. When I started Honeycomb Bookkeeping, the mission was I was building a better life for myself. That's really all I was thinking about. I thought I'll take on a few clients, I'll do the job, it'll make me happy, I'll have that life-work integration, and I'd do the bookkeeping. I didn't consider myself a CEO. I didn't consider myself a business owner. I considered myself a bookkeeper. And that changed pretty quickly. We started to grow so quickly that by month 4, I believe it was, we hired our first employee. We were growing and growing, and it left us with the challenge of not just me doing bookkeeping, but a team doing bookkeeping. Initially, for me, it was the noise in my head of constantly feeling like, okay, I gotta make sure I do this. Okay, I gotta make sure I'm following up on that. I need to make sure that the bookkeeper knows this. I need to make sure I add this to their list of things. It was a lot of email, communication, texting, all of that stuff. And we needed systems. We recognized pretty quickly that if we didn't have systems, we were gonna really struggle to be able to provide the same ongoing service, the same level, the same, close every single month if we didn't have a good system in place. I think a lot of bookkeepers can relate to this. And so I wanted us to stay on a timetable. I needed us to provide the same sort of processes at each week of the month so the client had an expectation and that expectation was met. And if it wasn't me doing it, I didn't want to micromanage who was doing it. I believed that they could handle their job. I trusted them implicitly. But if you don't give your team the tools, how do they know how to do the job? How can the expectation be met if you're not providing them some sort of system to kind of stick with? New tech can be kind of scary. First of all, are you going to have the security that you need for your clients? That was hugely important to us. We've invested in cybersecurity, so whatever software we implemented, we wanted them to meet certain criteria. So making sure of that, and then understanding it. Who has time for this, right? Like, you're putting something new in. I was already so busy. How in the world can I take the time to now get involved in a new software, learn the software, set the software up? That was all pretty daunting in the beginning. So I was talking to Ben at a conference, and he was explaining the software. It all sounded so great, but you go to a conference and every piece of software seems like, oh my gosh, I need it. I got to implement it. It sounds like it's going to make my life so much easier. But as he's talking about it, I'm questioning in my mind, like, why do we need this? What exactly do we need this for? And then he said, because this is November, he said, we have this new piece in here that actually helps you segregate your 1099 payments, extracting credit card payments. And as a bookkeeper, you know that anything paid with a credit card does not need to be reported on a 1099. And that's a challenge because QuickBooks doesn't do that, and we're a QuickBooks firm. So when he said there was that capability, I was sold. I didn't care what he said after that because we were approaching 1099 season. We all hate it, and we wanted to make it easier on ourselves. That was what sold us. The implementation was so easy. I felt very taken care of during the process. There was multi-meetings to help you understand the software, set the software up, succeed with the software, understand the capabilities of the software, because it's a lot in the beginning. It made us think about things internally. What were the systems we had in place, and how can we bring this into Keeper? Because now we have a tool to track these, to set deadlines, to help that whole process and help our team with that process. The analytics within Keeper, I love the reporting. We were always big on providing above and beyond, say, a QuickBooks P&L or balance sheet. Our clients expect that we give them analytics. We want to provide the metrics on the key performance factors that they care about. The financial package in Keeper is so robust that we can develop for each client a specific metric that puts onto their executive summary, which a lot of times your client's really only looking at the executive summary for those key factors, what was important to them. That, as a CEO, I loved. Since implementing Keeper, I feel like the systems are in place. When we onboard a new client, It's a 1, 2, 3 process. They're in the system. Everything goes like clockwork after that. We've implemented Keeper about 1.5 years ago. It's transformed our firm into what I feel like is a really legitimate business. We've added team members. We've added 3 accountants, actually, bookkeepers, and we've added 50 plus clients. And we would not have been able to do that if we didn't have the systems in place through Keeper. Ultimately, implementing Keeper has allowed my team to save approximately 30% of their time per client. As a CEO, that translates into growth, right? I can scale, my bookkeepers can handle more, and I feel very strongly that Keeper has allowed us to become the firm that we are. And I think we all think of them as part of the team at this point because of their support systems and their groups that we're part of.